I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Rachel Zegler wanted to make her mean critics be quiet, but her new video just made everything worse. In this video that many people saw, Rachel was in her bedroom. She looked at the camera. She was upset and also angry. She said that even though many people are mean to her online, other people still come to see her work. They still like what she does. When she talked, sometimes she almost cried. Other times, she seemed a bit angry. She told everyone that her acting in Snow White was good. She also talked about how people have been mean about the movie since they first heard about it.
I win. The winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
She talked like someone who wanted to take back her story, but the internet didn't let her. Very quickly, parts of her video were everywhere online. People on TikTok added their own videos to hers. Some people couldn't believe what they saw. Others made funny videos about it. In just minutes, her video was all over the internet. Some people were surprised by what she said. Other people made jokes about it. Her video became very famous, but not in the way she wanted. The internet users had their own ideas about her video. Many TikTok users took small parts of what she said and added their thoughts or made fun videos.
Excuse me, your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? From you?
I didn't mean to offend. I just thought you should know that
That I should know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement. I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse.
The old Twitter, now called something else, turned into total mess. Rachel wanted people to like her again, but this didn't happen. Instead, she gave her mean critics exactly what they wanted. She thought her video would make things better. She hoped people would understand her side of the story, but the opposite happened.
Snow White, budget $250 million, box office $43 million. Oh, but it's only been 2 days, give it a chance. No, I'm not gonna give it a chance. I'm not even talking about that number. Because like all the flops are unsurprising at this point. Something is going on behind the scenes with almost every major animation, video game, and movie studio that they're doing this intentionally or something. I don't f***ing know. I'm not even gonna talk about this. People are like, oh wow, Snow White flopped. Who is surprised? You cast arguably the least genuine, most out of touch, and disliked person in her industry, and her industry is Hollywood. And the bad guy is Gal Gadot.
The hashtags showed everything that was happening. Things like @snowflop became very popular. People didn't see her video as honest and from the heart.
Alright guys, I watched Snow White, so you don't have to. Let's get into it. Now first things first, Snow White gets her name not from the fairness of her skin, as we obviously know Rachel Zegler would be a miscast in that sense. Instead, she gets her name from surviving a snowstorm. Her father and mother are king and queen to a utopian communist society. I'm not joking, guys. Everybody shares and is mindful of what each person is getting, and we spread our resources evenly, which is where this idea of fairness, as Snow White is the fairest of them all, is really presented in the film.
Some people were even happy about it. They shared pictures of bad reviews everywhere. They made funny jokes about her. They laughed at what she said about not needing a prince in her life. People also found old parts of interviews she did before. They took these small pieces and shared them without showing the whole story. All these things came back very fast, like they were just waiting for this moment. The internet users brought back all her old words and used them against her. They took parts of what she said in the past and made them look bad.
I'm a narcissist. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Okay.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird. And then it became like, I will elbow everyone out of the way to play the part. That people will assume is a love story just because like we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
I say, if I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not gonna be saved by the prince.
She's not gonna be saved by the prince, and she's not gonna be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
People online did not see the evil queen as the bad person in this story. They thought Rachel was the bad person. Everyone still remembered when Rachel talked to reporters before. In those old talks, She said the first Snow White movie from 1937 was strange and scary. She laughed about the old movie. Now people were very angry about those words.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
And then she said the love story in the old movie was too old-fashioned. Those old videos looked really bad now. But people weren't just talking online. The movie actually did badly. Snow White only made $45 million when it first opened in American movie theaters. For a Disney movie that was supposed to be special because it was based on Disney's first cartoon movie ever, this was really bad. It was shocking when you look at the Little Mermaid movie. Even though people also said bad things about that movie online, it still made $95 million on its first weekend. That's much more money. People who study movie money weren't just worried. They were really surprised. Some said Disney made a huge mistake. Others just called the movie a failure. The numbers showed the truth, and things happened fast after that. Big movie theaters quietly took Snow White off their best screens. They put other movies that made more money in those good spots. They moved Snow White to times when fewer people go to movies. Some theaters even stopped showing the movie completely after just 2 weeks. For Disney, a company that usually does so well with movies, this was new and scary. For Rachel, everyone could see her falling apart. Even Disney's big advertising team couldn't fix things once people decided not to watch the movie. And then the Oscars happened.
Welcome, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot.
Visual effects push the boundaries of what we see on screen.
Their work makes the impossible seem possible.
With breathtaking ambition, they create magic that wraps its arms around our wildest imaginations.
Here are the nominees for Best Visual Effects.
At what should have been a happy event, Rachel walked on the red carpet with her co-star Gal Gadot. You could feel something was wrong between them. In pictures and videos, they didn't seem friendly. Gal hardly looked at Rachel during press talks. She stood very stiff and didn't make eye contact. People online saw this right away. People who study body language and gossip websites quickly talked about what Disney tried to hide. These two women did not like each other anymore. People who knew about the movie later said that Gal had to promote the film because of her contract, but she was now trying to stay away from the movie and from Rachel. What made it worse was that Gal's good name wasn't hurt by all this. She kept getting new movie jobs, making deals with brands and going to movie business parties without any problems. But Rachel found herself more and more alone. A few big fans still liked her, but most people were saying bad things about her. Rachel's time at the Oscars was supposed to fix her image. Instead, it made everyone see her as the reason Snow White failed. All the good feelings people had about her from West Side Story were gone now. Her try to make a new version of an old story seemed disrespectful. Her confidence now looked like she thought too much of herself. As soon as the movie started making less money, people online quickly found all her old interviews. They brought back every bad moment into the news again. The worst one was what she said about the original Snow White movie. In many videos, people could see Rachel rolling her eyes, saying the 1937 movie was weird and old-fashioned. She laughed at the love story and said her movie would be nothing like that. She proudly said that the new Snow White wouldn't need a prince to save her, wouldn't dream about true love, and wouldn't just wait around. But instead of people liking her new woman power story, they made fun of her for missing the point, and for saying bad things about a movie that many people have loved for years. The backlash against Rachel wasn't just from internet trolls. Real Disney fans were upset too. These are the people who buy Disney stuff, go to Disney parks, and see movies on opening day. They felt very angry. Parents said they wouldn't take their kids to see a movie when the main actress didn't respect the original story. Grandparents made TikTok videos telling how much they loved the original Snow White as children. They didn't want to see a new version made by someone who seemed to hate the old one. Even people who didn't care before started saying bad things. They didn't like Rachel's words or how she acted during all the movie interviews. Words like smug, entitled, and out of touch were in all the comments online. Some stars handled public criticism well. Some get support from their friends in the movie business. But Rachel was all alone. No co-stars sent nice tweets. No directors stood up for her. No other actresses wrote kind messages about how hard working in movies can be. She was completely by herself. This silence was very strange. Even one person standing up for her would have helped a lot. But nobody did. This silence told everyone something important. Hollywood was already backing away from her. Behind the scenes, this silence turned into real problems. News started coming out that Rachel's future movie jobs were in danger. Someone who works at a movie studio told a movie news website that she was first going to be in many big movies, but now those talks had almost stopped. People were talking about whole marketing teams wondering if she could still be the face of a movie. Would she make money? Would people buy tickets to see her? Or would they just think about all the bad press and poor ticket sales? This is a hard truth about Hollywood. What people think about you matters more than anything. And Rachel, who was once seen as the exciting new young star after West Side Story, was now a warning story for others. Her rise had been very fast. Critics loved her. She won a Golden Globe Award. Even Spielberg said good things about her. Everyone thought she was going to be a huge star, but with Snow White, all that good feeling disappeared. Her image, once so bright with promise, had gone bad. This wasn't just one bad thing happening, it was made worse by when it happened. In a time when movie fans have strong opinions and will spend their money based on those opinions, Rachel's problems weren't just bad publicity, she became a symbol. To some people, she stood for everything wrong with how old beloved movies were being remade. To others, she showed what happens when celebrities think too much of themselves. People weren't just avoiding her movie, they were avoiding her. People who know what's happening say Rachel's team is working very hard. Her publicists, agents, and managers are trying to fix her story. They want to get her interviews that will make people like her again, but the damage might be too big already. It's hard to make people forget viral video clips. It's even harder to rebuild trust with fans who feel hurt. The movie business has seen stars come back from worse problems, but only when they said sorry or were charming enough to win people back. So far, Rachel hasn't done either of these things. She has fought back, gotten angry, and refused to change. And with each move like this, her path to recovery gets smaller. Some people are already saying it's over.